Welcome! In this presentation, you will be learning about Reggio Emilia, a pedagogy of listening. The focus of this is to help students, families, and teachers know the best resources of play, collaboration, and active participation in learning, especially in a time where states in the United States and even globally, schools are closing to prevent the disease spreading of coronavirus. Reggio Emilia focused on the 100 languages of children. Freeman stated, "The 100 languages of children are expressive modes through which to demonstrate their understandings in many ways. These languages can include drawing, painting, recycled materials, light and shadow, dramatic play, music, and even dance." Reggio educators provide children with a wide range of materials and media and welcome a diversity of experiences so that children encounter many avenues for thinking, revising, constructing, negotiating, developing, and symbolically expressing their thoughts and feelings. There are many distinctive characteristics of Emilia's approaches. First, the child is an active participant in learning. They are experiencing hands-on learning on their own. The next is significance of environment. Where they are plays a vital role in their learning. Next, the teacher, parent, and child are collaborators in the process of learning. They will work together as a team for the whole learner. Finally, making learning visible. Learning should be seen everywhere for the learner. Children are active participants in learning. Students are participating in fine motor skills as well as learning about the insides of the pumpkin in a unique way in a preschool classroom. Children are encouraged to work together to investigate, create solutions, and depict their learning through symbolic languages. This is from a lesson I used and presented to students in a preschool classroom. Significance of environment is also crucial for Emilio's theories. Students build their own campfire in one example of using Emilio's practices. In this environment, it serves as the third teacher and usually includes student work, natural light, open and organized space, plants, and connectedness with the rest of the school. Another key role is teacher, family, and student collaboration. Teachers can be a part of the students' conversation and learning process. Parents take part in discussions about school policy, child development concerns, and curriculum planning and evaluation. In this photo, you can see students were actively engaged in their learning and needed family support in coming up with a costume for school. Today, March 2020, families are being asked to be more involved in student learning as many schools have reverted to online or e-learning options or even flipped classrooms since schools have been closed for an extended period of time for disease prevention. Learning should be made very visible. Teachers display student work throughout the classroom and use a variety of documentation methods, pictures, videos, or even journals to track children's thoughts and ideas as they work and play together. Today, families can share videos or photos with educators and can be posted on sites such as Google Classroom, Seesaw, Facebook pages, or even shared through Remind to share students' work in making their learning visible when they're not in the classroom. Emilio has benefits of its approach. For one, long-term projects promote inquiry among teachers and children. It has integrated curriculum for students to not just have more curriculum, but learn deeply on the same areas. Parents are seen as partners in the learning process. They are involved in their child's learning, which shows and demonstrates to students that learning is valued. Lastly, there's a deep respect for children's intelligence. Children are in charge of their learning and motivated to continue to be lifelong learners. Emilio does have challenges in this approach. It's hard to assess children with the approach, since they are active learners and learning on their own through questioning and play. Sometimes it can be difficult to assess these learners. More planning time is also necessary for teachers. Teachers must provide multiple different avenues for multiple different learners' needs and interests in the same lesson. It also requires teachers to be more divergent thinkers. Especially right now, teachers are being pushed to think outside of the box to help their learners that have online and do not have online options to have all students have equitable learning experiences. Emilio's theories do have misunderstandings and misuses. For one, people say it's too time-consuming. They say students do not benefit from the lesson and that they can get it done in an hour versus a couple days. Some say it's too costly, that all of these hands-on approaches require resources and materials that cannot be afforded. Also, it's said that students are being asked questions and are not required to answer them. In all of these, students truly are being lifelong learners and are retaining what is learned and remaining curious in their learning process. Considering diversity and equity issues. The learning menu is highly diversified, ranging from dancing, coloring, painting, shaping clay, discovering one's shadow, role-playing, and a whole host of stimulating experiences, such as helping one another, sharing a game, making friends, and analyzing how things work so the child can find an appropriate comfort zone, which would allow optimum levels of expressions. Francesco Bonavita. This shows that students are being exposed to stimulating experiences to extend their learning and promote lifelong learning, not just on their own, but in collaboration with others, problem solving, and continuing to grow. When considering diversity and equity issues, language should be at the top. No common culture, language, or social experiences are 100% alike for all learners in the same classroom. Playing is a type of language that should be used at all ages of learners. Beginning English-speaking interaction in socio-dramatic play is one way to integrate language and break down barriers. Fraser stated, extremely fluent in using play as their strongest language. As a benefit from Emilio's approaches, teachers questioned the interest in medieval play in a classroom. Teachers no longer supported learning as a reproduction of an event or an object in this lesson. When they did this, students went back to playing. In the image, you can see Benita's theory about a dragon fire. How can all languages of learners be incorporated? Write down your ideas now. Here are some factors outlined by Fraser that are needed for the Reggio approach with various languages. Play is supported, accepted, and listened to as a language. All languages through play should be accepted. Materials are experimented with and make thoughts and ideas visible. This may involve the teacher pre-using these resources to make sure they're appropriate. Document what is done over time to share with families. By documenting this, Educators can see holes, strengths, weaknesses with collaborating with families and see where the family's strengths and weaknesses are. Encourage students to share thoughts and collaborate with others. Collaborating at a young age will help them in their careers later on. Share an understanding and passion for a study topic. By sharing this interest on a thematic unit, students are able to dive deeper into the thinking process rather than higher with the coursework. So where is the Reggio Emilia approach found? As you can see, it is found all over the world. Canada, USA, Mexico, when looking at North America, but also the Nordic network, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, Korea, South America. Globally, people are being affected by coronavirus and looking into disease prevention options. As they look into disease prevention options, all these places are already equipped with the Reggio Emilia approach and can be using that at all teaching and learning levels. Now let's practice it. Let's do an activity. Let's discover the shape of your name, for instance. So, using resources around you, within reach, in the next room, try to find some resources to make your name. This could be using Legos, or using silverware, or have some shaving cream and write your name. In this, really be active in your learning. Try to encourage others to be a part of this and see their thoughts. Encourage collaboration between not just you, but others. Maybe use a non-dominant hand, or use a utensil to put in your mouth, and then write your name. Through this discovery, you will be experimenting with the Reggio Emilia approach. Please pause the video and try this on your own now. For questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Go to the comments and let me know your thoughts on the Reggio Emilia approaches, especially right now during the prevention of the coronavirus across the United States and internationally.